All right. Hello and welcome to Temtalk, a podcast about the creature collection MMO Temtem. I'm your host this week, Presby Kennedy, joined as always by Gaijin Boo. Mr. Boo, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing well.
And we
Doing
got
well.
a
It's a good day.
we got a special
you
guest
didn't let
with
me
us.
finish talking. You're
Well,
just gonna cut me off to introduce this fool.
Yeah, I'm gonna let
There's
all of us
nobody this has
talk
been?
about our shenanigans all together. So
Come on.
also we have another special guest joining us, Tormin. How are you doing this evening? That is Vonlin. Turn the camera to Tormin. He's our guest for tonight. That's why we brought you on.
He's in the corner standing by for support.
I'm kidding. Special guest today joining us, Vonlin. You might. Well, I forgot to ask you. Do you want to introduce yourself, Vonlin, or do you want me to introduce you?
No, you go right ahead. I'd like to hear an introduction instead of having to do one for one.
Nice. So professional Twitch foot streamer. He's taken time off from his streams to reconsider his life decisions and what landed him here, and if he's gonna have to make like the rest of his funding off of OnlyFans or not. So while he's no, I'm kidding. Anyways, you might know Vonlin from our previous episodes. He started Temtalk and used to host with us. He is back on as a guest this week. Happy to have him here. How are you doing, Vonlin?
I'm actually just here to pull an interest in an OnlyFans page. So you sold me out too early. And can I just say how
right, folks? Welcome back, your Temtalk daddy.
Can I say how refreshing it is to be able to sit back and watch Gaijin interrupt the host and not be the one getting interrupted? This is nice, right off the bat.
All right, I'm gonna have to interrupt you, Vonlin. You can't have
my,
just a pleasant time here.
My second grievance aired. We're not introducing the guests first anymore now. We're putting them on the bottom. This is rough.
You're not really a guest. You're just. This is just a little handout. You know, stretch your legs, get you some exercise. We know how hard COVID's been for you. I mean, we can tell just looking at you. So
if you didn't think this entire thing is just gonna be me here to be backseat podcast, I did it better. You guys are in for a treat. That was number 2. For those watching not live, number 1 was we started like 12 minutes late. So we'll see how many more I can rack up.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I told you we started at 9:42 p.m. sharp. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm doing good though. I'm very very excited to be back and hanging out with you guys. I miss this. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun to have you back.
Just wailing on you.
Well,
I love a good boomer bashing.
With COVID like getting more serious and quarantine being more of a thing, I miss having a little social hour like this. It's nice to have this back.
Wait a minute. More serious? Where have you been the past year?
No, I mean we I don't know about your state, but in Minnesota we went into lockdown. All the businesses got shut down, and then they opened them all back up, and they eased back on lockdown. And like 3 weeks ago, they locked everything back down, shut all the businesses down. So
because nothing got better because they opened up everything, and all of a sudden people are traveling. Like, so I live in a vacation town, and this was the busiest year we have ever had. We broke all records that we've ever had. Oh yeah. It's insane. The amount of people that were traveling just here is disgusting.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm one of those horrible people traveling for the holidays. I fought as long as I could, but my family all came together and bought me a ticket, and I'm just like, fine, leave me alone.
A quick question, Kennedy, from chat and stuff. Why is my resolution worse than your two coming through Twitch and zoomed in more? I'm like blurry and all like pixely, and you guys are clear.
I mean, as you should be. You know, there's really not much we can do to improve your quality, Vonlin.
I mean, I guess
I think that's
my good looks. You don't want to be blurring these.
Yeah, I think that's your connection, Vonlin, because like I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now in Discord. I can print screen it and send it to you.
No,
but,
that's fine.
yeah.
I believe you. I was just wondering if it was coming through. You guys are.
But you I think he is zoomed in a little bit though, but that's just me.
That's just making it more noticeable, I think. But sorry, go on.
I mean, nobody really wants to see that Vonlin's face that close.
So refreshing to be the person not having to try to look at technical stuff live. I love it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I did write the CEO of Discord and slip them like $10 just to dumb down your stream a little bit for tonight. So it's unfortunate, but yeah. Anyways,
oh boy.
It's been a fun week for I think pretty much everybody. That said, let's just jump into the episode tonight. What's everybody been up to tonight? And Vonlin, if you looked at the notes document, this is where we give the guest the opportunity to go first. So what have you been up to in game?
Oh yeah, so I've been doing. I've actually been excited. I want to come on because they introduced radars and dojos like a week or two after I stopped doing the show. And I know it's old news now, but I'm really excited to talk about radars and dojo mechanics because
We've already discussed this.
I know
through. So
I'm sure you have.
But we're gonna have to cut you short on this one, Vonlin. We don't want to bore the viewers with content they're already aware of.
No,
well, we've got some new players coming into the game.
Informed.
It's just such a. I know a lot of people got mad when that patch came out, and some players didn't like the changes. I love it. It's fantastic. I'd never loved Temtem more. So I've been doing dojo rebattles and radars nonstop. That's been my whole Temtem life.
Next week we're gonna have Vonlin.
Widely.
Oh, I was just going to say, next week we're going to have Vonlin on as a guest again. He's going to be like, have you guys heard about this MySpace thing? It's really blowing up.
It's not that old of news.
Oh my god, that MySpace thing. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Actually, I'm thinking Vonlin's probably at LiveJournal levels.
I don't even know what that is. But what was the thing in between MySpace and Facebook or before MySpace? Wasn't there one other old one?
It was the one where you build your own website thing. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Build your own website? What is this, Squarespace?
No, it wasn't Squarespace, but it was like you did all the HTML stuff and it was all shimmery and all of that. No. Zan? Did it start with an X? Zan? I don't remember it, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh man, I know what you're talking about too. Holy
it's
crap.
Right there.
But anyway, but I've been radars and dojo is all I do nonstop. I've gotten a couple Lumas off of it. Luma Moflank, Luma Noxolotl.
You're winning that radar lotto.
Yeah. There's one or two more Lumas. Like I've gotten like 3 or 4 Lumas from the radar, so it's been awesome. GeoCities. Someone said GeoCities. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's not it.
That is from that same era.
I'm pretty sure it's LiveJournal, honestly.
Will it mess up your broadcast? I'm gonna try to disconnect and reconnect to see if I can fix this quality thing, or is that gonna mess it up?
I mean, everybody will shuffle for a second, and then we'll be right back.
I'll do it just for a second. While I do that, guys,
believe in yourself.
Tell them what you've been doing. I'm gonna see if I can get better. It's bothering me.
I mean, I've just been doing my radar stuff. Finally.
Gaijin, by the way, Vonlin can't get back into this channel. Just to let you know.
That's exactly intentional, honestly. Like,
it's a locked channel.
This was the plan.
Yeah, and he's messaging me now to let him back in.
Yeah, drag. Forgot I can't get back in, I guess. Hey, welcome back.
Turn on your webcam whenever you get a second. Oh, that looks beautiful.
It does look better. Okay, cool. Go on. Sorry about that.
It looks a little better, I guess. But yeah, I've just been doing competitive still. I've been doing a bit of competitive. I did my radars this week. I got a Luma Koish, which was cool. I got a Luma
which type of Koish did you get?
It was a Fire Koish.
Gaijin!
It was not Synergy Master.
Oh, hold on. I want to retract that Gaijin and just replace with the Gaijin.
I know. I'm disappointed in myself too. But yeah, so I got the Luma Koish Iridescence Fire. I gave it away. I got a Luma Vlash, which I also gave away. Of course, after selling the Furt to Magical One for more Anahir eggs. And I broke my Toxolotl radar because I wasn't paying attention. So, there's that.
I bet every time a Toxolotl radar is broken by accident, like somewhere out there, J-Dragon cries softly in the distance.
I know he does because I promised him every time I get a Toxolotl radar, I'm like, if I find one, I'm going to let you co-op with me to catch it. And then I break them every time. Mostly to spite him for how much he talks trash about Tataru.
That's fair. J-Dragon talks a lot of trash about a lot of Tims, and I'm just like this, coming from the homie who uses Shuin openly on teams. All right. For me this week, I did Academy stuff. We finished up the Academy stream. or the Academy Season 1 last week, which was super fantastic. All the students were playing like so well. The games were so entertaining. And I tallied up most of the results. I think I tallied up all of the results because I canceled the one more day we were going to play. So with that, I've got like all of the students in a list of like who is where. And then I've got to go and tally up the professors. And then ideally this Wednesday, I'll be giving out all those Pansons to people and then brainstorming what the season 2 is going to look like. But even beyond that, the most super exciting thing for me this week, I just bit the bullet and I TV trained all of Gaijin's Tims with fruits last night because I was like, I want to get rid of
bullet after Gaijin gave me 70,000 Pansons.
Wait.
I want to clear my conscience of all responsibility I have in Tim. Like, I'm a gamer. I love playing games. You know, my hobbies include, you know, this podcast, but also D&D are the main things that are like my hobbies that like I work at. But it's like I want to play games and not feel bad about not playing other games. And I had so many responsibilities in Tim that like when I play other games, it's like I really should be playing Tim. I really should be playing Tim. I really should be. So this weekend I was like, I'm getting it all done. Everything's getting out of here. I'm going to play what I want when I want and not care. Because I'm crazy. Well, I mean, not crazy, but like normal.
All right. Grievance number 3. The deal was...
Oh, I'm going to have to cut you off because we have to cut you off while doing stuff.
You had to TV train like 8 times in 4 hours like the traditional way or with like just enough money from starting. You can't use fruits to do all of it. So the challenge still is out there. You still haven't TV trained 8 times in 4 hours, whatever the ridiculous statement was.
There were parameters on the team building, and with the team building, the agreement... or rather, what Gaijin wanted was making a team out of his OTs. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were special attackers. And special attack is not something that goes super fast.
So you'll do a different session. You'll do a different session where you TV train 8 all HP and whatever.
You don't even go here anymore, Vonlin.
No,
you can't dictate future content. You're not a part of this school.
I bet the entire community will rally. I remember all the YouTube comments that said you were crazy when you said that was possible. People are still waiting to see it done.
I'll do it.
I'm a man of the people now. I'm speaking for the people.
I'll do it, Vonlin.
The people that he abandoned and no longer hangs out with.
Yeah, I'll do it if you join the academy as a student and actively participate for season 2. Like, there we go.
Interesting. What do you have to? What's the qualifier to be a student? I'm not good at PvP, so is that a low enough bar?
You can't be above 1250 TMR.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem.
Yeah, 1250 TMR, and you can't have placed in the top 8 of a tournament.
Not a problem. Never come close to either of those 2 conditions. So we're good.
Yeah, the Josh Striker World Cup. You're supposed to take it all, Vonlin.
I know. It was fun though.
Yeah, it was.
I won like 2 rounds, I think.
There's speaking of which though, like you can get yourself ineligible to be qualified for the Temporium, or not for the Temporium tournament, for the Academy. There's a Enigma internal tournament coming up. I don't know if you've been following like the channel. They're trying to, a lot of new people join the club, and they're trying to like introduce them, you know, better to the community and stuff. And so they're doing like an internal Enigma only club. And I think the thing is for the club role, anybody who has the Dojo Defender role can't participate in it. But everybody else is eligible to. So you don't have to worry about going against, I believe, our Dojo Defenders are what, like Tsubaki, Huron Crane, Kenzaki, Bennett, and I'm forgetting 2 players, unfortunately. Oh, that's so sad. I'll remember later. But
why
say that again?
Why is there the mouse keeps touching my face?
Oh, Wait, is that my mouse? Oh, because I'm looking at Discord.
It's not my mouse.
I'm looking at Discord, and the thing is over here.
I'm pixelated again, but I give up on solving it because I don't know what else. I close out as much background programs as possible. I don't know what's going on.
Cameras can only handle so much hideousness. And it's not even your looks, it's your personality.
Oh, no, that's horrific. We're going to move on to our next segment. Vonlin, you're wonderful. Thank you for being here. Kennedy. We're honored to have
Vonlin, you know we love you.
Listen, I had to, with the production value of the mic being up and increased, I had to decrease something else to stay consistent. So I guess it's going to be the video quality.
I know. God, your voice, people are going to start thinking you're me. You better be careful.
Yeah. So I had to balance it out. Keep it scuffed.
All right, so let's jump into the weekly news. If you have the notes document, you can just go ahead and click around with me, but I am going to open up the reset, or I'm going to open up the tweet for the weekly reset, and let me go over to our viewing screen so everybody can see this. Oh, well, let's not click that. Here we go. Boom. Okay, so for this week, December 7th through December 13th, 2020, we've got a Luma SciPark week. I'll start off with SciPark because it was the one I was kind of talking about earlier today. For 3,600 Pansuns, you get 7 Sci cards, and the Tims that are available in the SciPark this week, there is a Banapee at 100% spawn rate with 3 times the Luma odds and a 10% chance at egg moves. And there is Platypet with a 100% spawn rate, 3 times Luma odds, and 15% chance at egg moves. And Platypet's got like a bajillion egg moves. I think it might have 5.
They would give me a Platypet radar every single SciPark week. They give me the SciPark Tems every single time it's a Luma week.
Were we complaining about radars? Because I've gotten Orphill for like 4 weeks in a row, and I already have Luma Orphill. That's another Tem I got. But
I mean, that's you need to have Orphill and Nidrisil. You need to have both.
Yeah, I'd rather just get a radar for a line of species that I didn't have than Orphill 4 weeks in a row of the same radar.
I mean, you can make a casual Luma Nidrisil team with just like 4 different Nidrisils.
The worst is I didn't get the radar. I don't think I can. I maybe did, but I don't think I got it consistently from the same dojo. Even like I got it from the Quetzal dojo a couple of weeks, and I got it from the Nature dojo a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, that can happen.
It's super frustrating to see it appear like that.
I basically think I'm just going to do my Tataru radar and then go into SciPark this week. I mean, there's no sense in me doing Platy radar if I can just sit in park.
Is that 3 times odds? Is that better time? Is that true, do you think?
I mean,
time for luck?
I mean, I wouldn't, like, it depends. Like, not really, because you're looking at 0% Luma odds from 100 from 0 to 200, and then from 200 it's 5 times. So you're looking at slightly better odds, and then you're looking at significantly better odds for the next 100. Right. So I mean, it still wouldn't hurt to go do the radar, but like I just wouldn't make just be lazy in park, I guess.
Yeah, can you do the radar in park? Question mark?
No, you cannot do radars in park. You can only use radars where they naturally spawn.
Sad day. Well, I mean, I could see merits to both. Like, your radar is going to give you a much better Luma Platypet with much better chances of getting one. But if you do SciPark, you have a better chance at getting an egg move and not paying out of the wazoo to put, an egg technique. Which Platypet really likes Urushiol. I don't think its other egg techniques are super valuable, but I don't remember what they are off the top of my head.
Guys, as someone who values Lumas less than Sci cards, wouldn't you rather have it in a normal Tem card from the radar before you do the SciPark one?
Or a red card.
I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to give Lumas away. I don't really care personally, because I only keep Lumas that are gifted to me at this point. So, or like if I ever hatch a Luma guys or catch a Luma guys, the first I'm keeping. So
there's a guy's clause. Interesting.
Yeah, there is a Nagai's clause. It's my favorite design. Like, once they release Nagai's, boom, that's it. Favorite Tem.
Specifically, it's normal design or the Luma Nagai's made you
both designs.
Yeah.
Honestly, just its overall design in general. But I like the Luma colorings. A lot of people don't like it, but I do enjoy it.
Oh, I like it.
For the sake of the listeners, I just looked up Platypet's egg moves, and its other egg move is Sharp Rain. Definitely want Urushiol and Sharp Rain for your Luma Platypet. So, not a bad side park week with that egg chance. My partner's favorite Tim is Banapy, and so that's why I took notice of this side park week.
Boom.
Yeah. Did either of you want to say anything else on this side park week before we move on to the free Tim?
I mean, no, not really.
I'm just curious, why did you link to the France version of this?
Because this is the only so Crema doesn't post it anymore because it's in game now. So Crema doesn't post it, so Temtem France does it.
Is this like some unofficial Temtem feed?
Oh, yeah, kind of.
It's not ran by Crema.
I believe the club French Exotic runs this Twitter. I know I follow
Wait, are you basing that specifically on the fact that it says France in the name?
No, I follow
temtem-france.com.
Yeah, I follow Neko Blackie on Twitter, and like every time like this tweeted out, like as soon as it's tweeted out, she retweets it. And so I'm just assuming she's like the one managing it.
Well, that does answer my other question. I was like, I thought they stopped posting these, and then okay, I got 2 questions answered with one. Then all right, okay.
Bada bing, bada boom. We call that a twofer. Gaijin or Vonlin, do one of you want to tackle the free Tim for this week?
Vonlin, go for it. I know you've been dying to talk to the people. Yeah. Give them some.
This will be good. Let me ease back into. Let me relax for this. So for the free Tim this week, we got 50 to 425 releases with Psy cards at the bottom, 50, 125 growth enhancers times 2, the Indigo die for 300, 425 immunity DNA strand. Which strand? That's just one of the breeding DNA strands, I assume.
Yes, that's a garbage strand, and you should not release 425 unless you want the Pansons.
And you only get 1, and it's 425 releases. So I would say not a great free time week, besides the die at 300 if that's your thing. But if not, probably skip it, or just do 50 for 3 free side cards. But even that's kind of risky, I think.
Yeah, what is this? No Wish You Well coins? This is absurd. It's the only reason people do free Tim anymore is the Wish You Well coins. Like, this was the only other alternative to getting Wish You Well coins, and they're just going to strip them away? I don't think so.
You get them from free time and the fishing, right? Is that the
fishing, and you also get it from the postal delivery.
Oh, the post office, right, yeah.
TM Trainer, you have control over this. I'm blaming you. This is your fault. Shame on you.
I feel like
how dare you? Don't do it.
Even if you could get wishing wells from free time, I feel like you're way better just doing the post office every day and then doing something else the rest of your time and just counting on that for your coins.
Yeah, post office is fun. I kind of feel that the Gaijin of like your like this week, I think the Free Tim Society, they might be having like a meeting, and it's like, hey, maybe our rewards have been too good and we've been encouraging people to beat up and capture Tims and pretend to release them. Maybe if we give worse rewards, we'll only be giving our rewards to people who actually want to release Tims.
If they're just realizing how bad their entire existence is, I'm impressed that they were this blind this long, because literally Free Tem Society makes 0 sense. We don't want you to capture Tems and tame them, and keep them, but you can beat up Tems, capture them, and then release them into the wild, bloody, beaten, and disheartened.
But I mean, it's kind of ethical. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, this week, nothing to phone home about for Free Tim Society. 3 side cards. At a 3 times
I never understand that reward. It's like, hey, do you want just 3 side cards to be really risky and find a Luma and then break 3 side cards and not get it? Or do you want 3 on top of your 7, in which case you don't need these 3? Like, I feel like that's almost just that reward just... When they first did it, I'm like, okay, they're trying to get people to side park, but now I'm full reverse my opinion on that. I don't understand why they give out 3 side cards as a reward.
Yeah. The growth enhancers, those are kind of rare, but I mean, those are better for, I guess, newer players. Getting your first level 58, so you can trade other people.
They've never done a Telemore hack trait swap in Free Time yet, have they?
Not yet. They've only been out for
the free time of all free times, right?
Since October.
That'd be a crazy good free Tem week. Telemore hack trait swap. I might actually free Tem for the first time in months.
Oh yeah, I've got a trait swap.
I got one, but I need more
yeah.
than one.
What do you need it for? Like, what other attempts are you running with off traits?
All my competitive, my dojo rebattles, and if I do ever get back into competitive, I'm pretty convinced that I just only want to use Lumas for the rest of the game. So I have all Lumas that I do the battles with, and a lot of them have the bad traits. So I'd like to swap their traits over to the good ones.
I've got like dumb lucky on my Lumas. I've got Lumas that either don't need, or that function with either trait, or I've gotten the trait that they've needed. So it's just like I've got the trait swap, and I'm just like, sure would be nice if I get another Luma.
No, I could use some more traits. Like I have like a Zenarath with the not good move. I don't know what it is, but his other one is like 25% more special damage. Like that trait would be amazing to switch.
Oh, you don't run Channeler or Zenarath? Lod.
Is Channeler the trait that does 25% damage? I don't know its name.
Yes.
Yeah, because I use my Luma Zenarath, and that's just the one I use, but it doesn't have that trait. So that's why I need
it looks fancy. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing, was I just like I need egg move. Like the same thing. I use my Luma Grandpa. It doesn't have Hyperkinetic Strike. I would love to get a Hyperkinetic Strike egg move item.
I would like if they put egg moves in free Tem, but I think they need to code it in so it's like a random egg move you get at 425 because egg moves are kind of like the economy right now, and it's just like if you put Feather Gatling or Hyperkinetic Strike or Urushiol there as the egg move for 425, you kill the market for like one specific group of people who are trying to sell that, where it's just like, hey, specifically screw you. So I think if it was random and everybody got like a different one for that week, if they do an egg move in that slot, that would kind of keep it going a little bit better. But yeah, that's the Free Tim Society. I'm gonna move on, or Gaijin, do you want to talk about the Koish this week? Not a lot to discuss on it, but I mean, it's Koish.
If you take a look at this post, which I'm sure maybe will be in the Temtalk show notes on YouTube or something, it's a water earth Koish. It's wet and it's earthy, and that's really all there is to know about it. You may have luck, and I wish you all well if you go fishing, to get that you get your 5/5 quickly.
Yeah, Water Earth for Koish is kind of nice because for the people who want to breed, Nagaizes and Nagai and Size Munches and stuff, it kind of lets you combine up the fert that you need rather than having like a bajillion of each different Tim in your box. So it's just like once you level your Size Munches, you breed it with Koish. Once you level your Nagaizes, you breed it with Koish.
That's interesting. You guys maybe talked about something. Sorry, I never thought about that. The Koish is getting introduced as just a good way to spread breeding mechanic typing around, really.
It saves space too in your box.
Like you can just stock up on a bunch of Koish instead of all these other random Tem fertility.
Yeah, and the only thing that you have to then worry about is like the egg moves. But if you do the egg moves early on in the breeding chain, you're golden.
So do you guys fish for Koish? Do you catch all of them for this reason to see if you get any with good SVs? You're not defeating them?
It depends on the week. Digital Koish week, definitely. There was one after Digital Koish week, which I think was Melee Koish week, which I was just like, nah, I'm good.
I mean, actually, so right now, I guess Koish is actually the best for free Tem. So either way, you might as well.
Yeah.
But Iridescence is such a pain. Apparently, farming with Piranhant and Nidrasil is your best bet.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Something when we had friend of the show Subaki-chan on, that he opened my eyes to is that electric Koish always hits every Koish effectively. If it can't hit it with electric, it can hit it with water.
Oh, yeah, electric Koish makes sense too.
Yeah,
so Piranha or electro Koish could work.
Yeah, the big old brain. What would that be like? Baton pass on your electric Koish, and then like whatever other Tim you run in the other slot, the 4-leaf clover. Bada bing, bada boom.
Just like that.
Yeah. Well, and also, I guess I'm thinking more of a Koish radar where you eventually are fighting like level 55 Koishes you're trying to knock down. But yeah, so that's
Can
the
you get
weekly
course
reset.
radars? I've never seen one.
Yes, you can.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
just talked about how I got a Koish Luma Koish off my radar. Where were you?
Oh, I didn't realize that was from the radar. I assumed that was just from doing the fishing.
No, I did also get one from fishing as well, though. So I've caught
Wow.
two Lumakoish, a crystal Lumakoish and a fire Lumakoish.
When you were discussing that, Gaijin, Vonlin was typing to the Discord CEO and was like, "Look, I know Kennedy slipped you $20. Can you
Here's
please fix my
$25.
webcam?"
Yeah, right. Vonlin would never bid for $25 for something.
I don't
I also
know.
like
Vonlin is petty. Like not only is Vonlin petty, you're petty too, Gaijin, in the most wonderful ways. I remember when I first started streaming on Twitch, you guys got into gifting wars, and Vonlin just went like one over you just to be the top bidder or the top
sure
gifter.
did. Sure did.
Not there anymore, though, buddy.
I was for a long time though, so you can never take that period of time away from me.
A week.
Yeah, this channel eventually will be up there. I don't know. I'm probably gonna gift a whole bunch to this channel too. Like I like giving them to people. It feels good. It just
I'll
feels
definitely
good.
I'll give my
Just
Twitch
be
Prime
careful.
for sure to this channel.
It's too easy to make mistakes with gifting subs.
Good to
What
know.
did that mean? Did you gift too many subs one time?
So, one time, too many times. I have gifted more money in subs than I care to mention, and I'm trying to roll that back.
Gaijin's gifted so many subs. Jeff Bezos writes him a Christmas card every year.
Knowing this, I'm just gonna try to egg him on to another contest over gifting subs at some point.
I appreciate it, Gaijin. Yeah, you're supporting me. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, thank you, Tim France, for always putting together these posts each week. It makes discussing them super duper easy. And we can jump on to our next bit of news. So anybody who follows the Tim Twitter account, they are hyping up Tim as they're getting ready for the influx of players we're going to have for the PS5 launch. And they have been posting all of these like little promo videos about some of the Tims and just encouraging people of like what to look for in game and stuff. And I picked out one specifically that just really made me chuckle because this tweet came through my phone from the Tim official Twitter account, and it said "reject humanity." Ellipses of like, you know, ... And I'm like, wait, what? And the tweet is "reject humanity, return to monk," or monkey. And it is the Tim official Twitter account sharing a video of Smazzy and like a little promo kind of explaining Smazzy as your starter if you choose him. And of course, Smazzy's so super duper cute and made me chuckle. But these videos are on the official Discord, or not Discord, the official Twitter account if anybody wants to look at any of them.
All fantastic. They have one for each of them, and they're all amazing.
I like that they talk about it Smashy showing off, and then they make sure to
Oh God,
cut
it's not
and show
Smashy,
off.
Vonlin. It's Maisie. There is
Listen.
no S in H. It's a Z.
It wouldn't be Temtalk if I couldn't say some Temtem names wrong with me coming back on. You shouldn't even be surprised.
Naga
this
Wise
close.
say.
But I love that
kidding.
they have it use the move show off in the video as well. I would have been mad. I would have rioted if they didn't include that.
Yeah. And the videos are super cute. So yeah, there's a lot of little promo material going on, which kind of brings us into our next big little piece, or I guess our little piece of news. Before I move on to the fact that they posted for PS5 players, do you guys want to say anything else on those videos?
No, go ahead.
No.
All right.
No.
So they posted on the official Twitter and, of course, on the Crimo website. They put a fact up, an FAQ, the frequently asked questions for a lot of players that are going to be coming into Tim, just to help get them started on their journey. And I'm not going to go through and read all of these on stream, but there's a lot of nice information here that I guess we didn't have when we were starting out the game that is just decent for everybody to have and know as like Tim goes on through development. if each of you want to like look through this and pick out anything you want to discuss, you definitely can. But I'll hit the highlights of what is what it really stuck out to me. That's like would be very nice to know. So we didn't get the roadmap until like a few weeks into Temtem's development after its release. Like I think it was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after. So what content will be added during early access? So in addition to the 4 islands we have, we're going to get 2 more additional islands. We're going to get 61 additional Temtem for a total of 161 total Temtem in the game at launch. There is going to be a auction and trading house added to the game. Club Wars of Club Wars will be in the game, like inside of the game and not just as a community event. A Nuzlocke game mode, mythical Tims, in-game tournaments, and a few things we want to keep secret. That's good to know. On top of like the housing, the matchmaking, and the weekly challenges, and the story content that's already in the game. Oh, when I started playing, I was just like, what's this game? Oh wow, it's cool and fun. And then that third week hit, and it was just like, but wait, there's more. So it's nice to know that kind of upfront. Was there anything you guys wanted to discuss before I go into the next one that kind of stuck out for me?
I just really liked, that they confirmed that it's definitely going to be crossplay, which we all expected, but just to officially know for sure they definitely are going to have that right away is awesome, because that would have really sucked if they didn't. And further, they even mentioned that cross-save, as expected, is not going to be in there for early access, but they're still trying to implement it later down the road. Because I know before in the roadmap, they said, yeah, we want to make that happen. We don't know if we'll be able to, but we're going to try. So they haven't said they haven't stopped trying, or they haven't said that we can't do it. So knock on wood, hopefully that's still a thing, because when this gets to Switch, I really, really want to play on my same account between Switch and PC.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I'm watching that topic very closely.
The biggest issue here with cross-save is PlayStation. No other consoles have as big of an issue with cross-save as PlayStation does, because for some reason they have a problem with cross-save, and until the community throws a giant stink, all of Fortnite, cross-save is like super hard to implement unless there's a giant ruckus about it.
Well, it's a good thing that on the PS5 FAQ they're saying they can implement it. If they're saying they can do it here, you think at the very least, hopefully I can get on my Switch. maybe they won't end up on the PlayStation. But if they're trying here, then yeah, I think it's a good sign all around. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, every console but the Switch has it. I mean, but the PS5 has it.
Yeah.
That's
what I got.
Yeah, the next thing that stood out for me was the price of the game, because this was another one I didn't know starting out. So because Temtem's in early access and it's in development, the price of the game isn't fixed. The game, as more features are added to it, the price of the game is going to slowly increase, because you're getting more and more value for your buck. So if you buy the game now, you get it significantly cheaper, and then you just if you don't want to like play right now, you're still paying less for it than you would be at launch. So right now the game is going to cost $37.49 if you pre-order it, and there was a tweet about like when it's going to be available tomorrow for actual purchase, which will be $39.99. As features are added to the game, the price is going to go up to $44.99. So definitely, if it's something you're interested in, but you just don't have like the time for it now, you actually lose nothing, buying it now and just waiting on it for a little bit.
Yeah.
I just realized that the camo outfit they have as an exclusive for PS5, if you scroll up, it's Snake. It's Metal Gear Solid Snake, and I did not realize that until just now.
And it's got the little exclamation point too.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me there's going to be a cardboard box emote, please.
The tamers disappeared.
That would be incredible.
And I think that's about it as far as things on the FAQ I wanted to point out. Was there anything else either of you wanted to point out? I want to make sure I'm not rolling over you guys.
No, I mean, that's basically all the important stuff from the PS5 FAQ, I think. I mean, it's all there if anybody wants to go check out anything else, but I think that's the biggest stuff there.
Yeah, I think what would be really cool too, if they had like put a picture of the roadmap in here, even though I guess no, never mind. The roadmap's like off of like when the stuff is coming, and this kind of lists everything that's in the roadmap. But at that visual of the roadmap's always like really really nice. Of just like, I wonder what's the next thing to look forward to. Oh, that's cool.
They probably don't want to bother doing it because they'll get outdated again, but they could update the roadmap for.
Yeah, I wasn't saying like linking it as far as like
article
of like, oh, in spring expect this. Like
Ideally, they could just delete the roadmap.
well, I was saying just more so like as a community, because we play the game and because of the story and because of like how invested we are, we all know Sipanku's coming next. We all know Sipanku's a digital island with, digital and electric Tims. And then, we can go and look at the roadmap of like what other features were projected to come with Sipanku. And then we also know like kind of what's coming because we're so in tuned. But for like newer players, it's just like, okay, like what's on the horizon of like, where is this game at? What's on the horizon? And then, like what's in like the long run. It's just kind of like nice to just be able to like get into. But that said, just like minor things, but still nice that they released that FAQ for everybody. And that's all our news for this week. Go ahead.
You didn't have it in the show notes, but there's not a lot in it, but really quickly the 0.6.17 patch.
Oh, the bug fixing patch.
Yeah, the only thing let's
go ahead and go through that.
Yeah, I'll just look under the balance section of it. I thought this was interesting. They said that they've made some tweaks to certain dojo leaders' teams, including Rari and Temtem, that were not carrying any gear, and some that had duplicate techniques. I assume that's directed at the main story, which, okay, fine. But if that's directed at all at the rematches, I'm very interested if changes with.
No, it's redirected to the rematches only because story does not have equip items.
Okay, that means that the next thing says we've improved the AI. Some techniques will now be prioritized and gear will be taken into account. So overall, this means dojo rematches are going to be a little bit harder now. With these changes.
I've watched.
So I thought that was fascinating. Worth pointing out.
I've watched what's her face, Sophia. I've watched her bamboozle a neutrality Barnshi, and I'm like, wow, you're so good at this game. You're a dojo leader.
Yeah.
And
I've watched her use her. I've watched her use her pick to bamboozle itself over and over and over and over and over and over. It literally bamboozled itself to death.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they still do all that after these AI changes or not. Because they said they've improved the AI, so.
Yeah, the biggest thing about this bug fixing patch, though, was Yowler's radar got added to Musa's.
About time.
That was the other thing I was going to point out, is you can get Yowler radars now. That's also huge. The rest of this, not so interesting, but those 2 points I think are pretty cool.
Last week we talked about the trap card mirroring build of bringing a level 1 Gaialis or just level 1 Tim with mirroring and 1 special defense to nuke your opponent's special attackers. This bug fix, there was fixed mirroring returning more than 25% of the Tim's maximum health points. So now it's bonkers. Yeah, so now you have to like mirroring can only deal 25% of like your Tim's HP, even if your Tim dies.
Wait, people were utilizing it to delete Temtems. It was insane.
Grievance number 4. I got heckled off the stage for having a white interface blinding everyone, and I've switched to dark Chrome.
All right.
Here's Kenny with a white interface, and nobody's complaining when he does it.
All right,
I was waiting for you to come on and heckle him, but you never came on. You're like, oh, I'm going to come on the show, and then here we are, eternity later. You're finally here, and now you can heckle him.
It's like 3, maybe 4 weeks. There we go. Oh,
I use dark mode naturally. I don't this app I have, or rather this add-on I have it.
I'm impressed that you had an add-on ready to switch it on the fly, though.
Like, yeah, I use dark mode on Twitter and YouTube and everything, but when I stream, I turn off this thing because this isn't. Some websites design their site like if I turn it off, you can see Twitter's dark mode is actually aesthetically pleasing because they have one built in. So some websites go super funkadelic when you turn it on. So while I was broadcasting, I just have that turned off.
I have 100%. I've come into some websites since I've installed this that look pretty bad. But
yeah, like if you've ever looked at Google
have to refresh
Drive
them sometimes.
Oh, go ahead, Gaijin.
I said you usually have to refresh them. There's a lot of websites where initially the dark mode won't take. You just have to refresh, and it should be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to show it on stream, but like in the post show, I can kind of show you guys how my Google Drive looks with the dark mode. And for me, it's fine, but like for other people, like if I was streaming,
Google
it's
Drive
like,
and Google Sheets look awful in dark mode. I 100%
it's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I've noticed that. I don't like it.
All right.
Anyways, get back on top. Sorry.
Oh, Gaijin, I just closed the bug fixing patch. Did you want to comment on anything before we move on? Okay, cool beans.
It was just a lot of bug fixes, and
go get those Yowler radars this week, everyone.
Yeah, buddy, Yowler radar.
If you're not doing, I feel like, and even before this, if you weren't doing the Kiswa as one of your 3 radar dojos, you're picking the wrong dojos. I don't know about you guys, but I do one every week for sure.
Yeah, Momo, Moflank, and Yowler. Lord.
There's a lot of Earth Temps too, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and you forgot Tataru.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can get Tataru from there too.
I just did.
Tataru. So Tataru is fantastic. Like, don't let anybody joke on Tataru. We've got Koishwitz Synergy Master in the game. Tataru gets Stone Ball, and it's a neutral type, and Tataru is a perfect jabber. Like, phew, please, Tataru will still have a place forever.
It's a jack of all trades, but master of none.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is still fantastic to use. There just are Tems that do specific things it can do better. That's all.
Yeah. I remember I put a Tataru on a team idea that I was making, and I was talking to some of the Enigma peeps, and they were just like, what do you want from Tataru? And it's just like, this is like, what do I want from Tataru? This is what like Tataru brings to the table. But out of all of that, this is why I'm using it. And they're like, that is fantastic. And Tataru does occupy those things. But the specific thing you want, Skunch does better. And I was like, huh, you're right. And so I switched out Tataru for Skunch. So I can feel that. Let's jump into our community events for the week. Okay, let's start with Saber's tournament. I don't know if anybody had the chance to watch this, but it seems like Saber now is doing these tournaments weekly, and she is expanding. She's also doing another one of these relaxing tournaments this coming Wednesday. So if you're listening to this live, this coming Wednesday, which is December the 9th, there will be a tournament that Saber's putting on, another one of these relaxing tournaments. But this past Sunday, she put on a tournament for the community, which was a lot of fun to watch. Quite a few people from the community signed up. I don't recall everybody that was in there, but I've got the brackets right here. And I can pull that up and see, you guys, when I go back to the screen, you'll see what I mean by like why I turned the dark mode off for some things. It's because like this site is already programmed for dark mode, and it's just like, there we go. So Kami won the Sabres Relaxing Tournament this past weekend, and Prati had a good showing. But I believe there were some other names in here too. Let's look at some of the people that participated. We had Kami, we had Pink Giraffe, Jay Winters, shout out, Academy student, Sarku, shout out Academy student, Mr. Rishi was in there too, and Dimano was in there. It was a lot of fun watching this. I watched.
Why are we on big screen Temtem? You're fighting 2 Osukai right now.
Sometimes you got to see the Osukai battle really up close.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gaijin.
Reven's number 5.
God, look at this. Vonlin comes back, and the boomer infection is rampant.
I feel at home and comfortable. I appreciate it, Kenny. Thank you for making me feel.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're back, and
I appreciate it.
Tiki Book was also in the tournament too, so it was a fun tournament. Prati was actually running a rare comp where Prati wanted to deal damage.
Did Prati get third or first?
Third. Prati ended up coming against.
I thought you said Prati won it, but no, he got third.
No, third. Kami won. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Prati ended up running against people that his comp couldn't deal damage into. He was focusing on nature temps and just had to stall out to turn 30 and just barely lost like some of those matches, unfortunately. But yeah, all in all, it was fun. And I was really thankful for Saber just, constantly providing the community with content to watch. Definitely check out her channel. And if you know me and you're in my Discord, she linked the next tournament inside of the Academy channel, which I'll put in chat for this. But if you're watching this and you're interested in competing in the next tournament, just go to Battlefy and search like Saber _ Twitch TV or Relaxing Sunday tournament, and this will come up. That said, let's jump on to the next one, unless one of you want to comment on this.
I did not watch anything.
The next one was kind of big. I watched there was a Fellow Tamers tournament this weekend. I watched the...
I want to comment on Vazi Ozzy being freaking amazing.
Feel free to take it away.
Love you. You are just everything I strive to be. And thank you, by the way, Vazi, for helping me with my TVs.
The thing I appreciate about Vasi just earns a following in the community wherever they go. Every time Vasi was competing on my channel, everybody in chat would just start simping super hard for Vasi. So they are one of like the magnetic personalities of Tim, and always like appreciative to have them like around. But yeah, Vasi competed in the academy too as a professor and was always kicking butt and throwing down. What club is Vasi a part of? Isn't it PDX?
The Boo Crew.
Oh, the Boo Crew? Vasi joined the Boo Crew?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, Gaijin, you're pulling in big names. Let's go.
All I need is
look at
is
Grace
Kisa.
in chat. It's like, wait, what? We got Vasi.
I just see, I'm just like, Vasi, if you join the Boo Crew, I'll let you have as much Kisa content as you want. A dedicated Kisa cam is yours if you join the Boo Crew.
Yeah. Unfortunately I didn't watch the finals, so I got to go back and watch those. I just watched a couple sporadic matches. Quarter was casting it, and it's always fun listening to Quarter go ham on casting. So in the Fellow Tamers, that was their December tournament. They do $100 tournaments leading up to their big entry tournament, and they are partnered up with Plus OP this week. So the Fellow Tamers does a circuit, and the more of their tournaments you win, the more you get, the closer you get to being entered into their, I think they're doing $1,000 tournament. They're partnered up with Plus OP this week, so if you compete in Plus OP's weekly this coming Friday, if you're listening to this episode while it's live, and that tournament's going to be on Friday the 11th of December, you will actually earn circuit points for the Fellow Tournaments league that can qualify you into some of their other tournaments. So definitely just something to be on the lookout for. Other things to be on the lookout for, in addition to Saber's tournament coming up this Wednesday, Plus OP's this Friday, Temporium is doing tournaments again. They are doing a 2 million Pansun tournament. It is called Temporium Rivals, and if you want to enter into that, the link is in their Discord, and of course you can Google search Temporium GG, and all the contact information for Temporium will come up. Temporium Rivals is a team-based tournament with 3 competitors going against another team of 3 competitors, and that prize pool is fat and juicy. I'm still a part of the Temporium staff, and we are giving away 100% of our Temporium bank, all of the money in it, and then a couple of the members of the admin team too have donated to make sure that prize pool is nice and fat, as kind of like a big thing, because Temporium's been a little silent. So definitely something to look out for this weekend. Lots of competitive stuff on the horizon. And
they had to farm up 2 million Pansuns.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money. Like that's a lot of money. Like when you think about the richest people in Temtem that I think about naturally, a lot of people are kind of down on their money in Temtem. Like nobody's really rolling super amazing. So just being able to give away like 2 million Pansuns is going to be a nice influx. Get all the egg moves you want.
That would take you. It would take you 57 weeks of dojo rebattles to make.
Yeah.
Over a year to farm 2 million Pansuns out of dojo battles.
How many Pansuns do you think the richest player has?
Oh, lots of money, I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had,
like an
over,
active
I'd say
player
like 13
and a
million probably.
non-botting player, like the richest non-botting active today player.
I'm gonna estimate around 13 million. If anybody knows anybody that has more than 13 million Pansuns, pop me a message.
I would say somebody, the person with the most Pansuns that is not banned probably has somewhere around 50 to 100 million would be my guess.
Ooh, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of Pansuns. You could buy all of the housing equipment.
I agree. It's probably more than 13 million. 13 million's a lot, but it's probably multiple people have probably got over 10 million.
That's fair. I mean, I habitually like spend money like in the most ways.
I'm not sure I'll ever get to 1 million Pansuns, but I could pretty easily if I wanted to, right?
Yeah, I could get 1 million Pansuns. I mean, it's just 1 million Pansuns. It's just 1 million Pansuns.
It'd just be a lot of grinding, but you could do it.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh,
if you wanted to do only that and nothing else in Temtem, which I don't think would be fun and you shouldn't do, but you could.
I mean, I have 650,000 Pansuns right now, so
yeah, it's
getting
more
there.
halfway there.
With our Pansuns combined, I am Captain 1 million Pansuns. Yeah. All right, let me finish up these community events because the last thing I wanted to say was the Academy finished up this week. And I want to say shout out to all of the players that competed. I got the world's nicest message. I'm not going to read the person's name, but I really want to read this because like I wasn't having a bad day or anything, but I don't know. My Saturday was kind of just like meh. And then I woke up to this message and it made me smile. And like, this is why we do the Academy. Somebody sent this to me and said, "Hey Kennedy, I placed really good in the Fellow Tamers Cup today and wanted to say thanks for you doing the Academy and the time you invested in it. I learned a lot through your lessons and I hope you keep doing this and getting new players into PvP." So just like shout out to
really nice.
I know, yeah, right? That's how I felt. I was like, I want to frame this. I want to put it on my wall. Shout out to the person who sent me that. Super appreciate it. But also I think that's like if you ever like scroll through those websites and it's just like the people who quote, it's like, oh, 9 out of 10. I'd recommend this service to my friends. It helped me do ... Like it's one of those consumer reviews. The Academy.
I was thinking it sounds
tested,
it sounds like an iTunes review or a Google review. Yeah, I was like,
all right, now
as you read it.
Time to put you on the spot. Who was your most favorite and who was your least favorite?
No, that's illegal. You can't do that. That's absolutely illegal.
Who improved the most and who just went absolutely nowhere?
Let's see who went nowhere. Gaijin, you never competed, Gaijin.
It's true. It was said that I was going to be in there by you, and it never happened because that was obviously a lie.
You can just be Gaijin for your least favorite, and then you can just pick someone to call out.
No. If I had to say shout outs to the Academy, I would say obviously all of the students, like literally all of the students, everybody who played. Yeah, everybody who played games like consistently like made the stream successful. Like it was because of their work and dedication that the streams were literally anything. Secondly, I would say shout out to Rarzi. I tried to structure the friend of the show, Rarzi, I think the assistant leader of the club Asylum and Twitch streamer in his own right.
Assistant to the co-leader.
Oh, assistant to the co-leader. Never mind. I thought he was the co-leader. But anyways, I tried to do time slots for every time zone so that people would always be able to compete, which required me streaming ridiculously late at night, and I go to bed early like an old man. And Rarzi got on stream with me several times, and we just died together at like 1 a.m. in the morning of just like, all right, we're going to play some Tim 2. We're going to cast it. So it really helped me keep my energy up through those streams. And then I'd also say shout out to 8bitten, because, you know, when you are in games like this with TMRs, with TMR and different ladders and stuff, it's easy to think like, okay, what is the person in, you know, Diamond 1 doing, and let me copy his team and copy his plays and whatever he's doing, and then apply that to, you know, Bronze 4 or whatever. And it's like, why am I losing? I'm doing the things the best person in the game is doing, but like there are different metas and different understandings and different things you have to take into when you play at, you know, lower tiers of the game and higher tiers of the game. And because we were like starting at the lowest tier of the game and trying to explain it and, you know, translate that information to people, 8bitten is a player in the community that consistently plays at low TMRs, and he plays, you know, hundreds of games. And he came on to the academy several times too and helped translate some of the information of things you need to look for and tips and things that are more important in lower TMR levels that, you know, wouldn't necessarily get that quality of information if you went into like, you know, Tsubaki's stream and was like, you know, how do I be the best at Tim, which is a big question, but, you know, the advice Tsubaki would give, it's very different from what that person might need in that moment, you know, for what they're doing. So definitely those people really help to make the academy successful. And then I would say the most person that I would appreciate is you, Gaijin. You gave me a bunch of Tims to give away to people, and starting out the stream, I think I gave away like 8 of those Tims just right out of the back, which really helped people get competitive teams to get started. So.
No, I had a bunch of competitive Tems that had been donated to me to start competitive, but I didn't have any money to pay someone to train them or level them, and I was never going to do it myself, and, you know, so I figured better them to go to use with the academy than just sit in boxes and collect dust.
And see, it's so hard to say, like, who do I appreciate? Because it's like such a big community effort, because then it's like I do want to throw a shout out to Q Angel, TM Trainer, and Suki tweeting out academy stuff really helped me get people interested in it. TM Trainer linking it on the Discord and pinning it help people, you know, find and connect with it. And then Q Angel constantly pushing and recommending people towards it, like helped me get like all of the students ready for it. So it's just like when you say like, you know, like, oh, Kennedy, thank you for putting on the academy. It wasn't a Kennedy thing. It was just like there's so many cogs in this that came together to just make this a wonderful event for everybody. And now that it's over, we get names. Like, look, I can pull up this stream. We got names like people don't even recognize, of just like, who are these people? But they're competing in competitive now, and they're competing in tournaments, and they're hanging out in streams, and it's fun and it's wonderful, and I love it. So
that's really awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing a season 2 when I gather my stamina. That said, that was kind of all the community events and tournaments this week. We have a listener question. I just talked a whole bunch. And again, you know, I'm always trying to be conscious. Do one of you want to read the listener question? Whoever reads it, the other person has to start off by answering it.
Ooh, okay. I like this. Is a good question. This is a good question.
I'm going to pull a Vonlin. I'm going to use the restroom, but I'm going to listen while you guys read it. I've got wireless headphones. I'm still here.
Classic.
So, Technicality QX said, "Hi, Temtalk. Technicality here. I was thinking about fossil Pokemon and was wondering, do you think having a Temtem be obtained through item collection would work for the game? Not necessarily a one-and-done scenario, but maybe as a reward for a weekly challenge. I think it could be used for like getting additional Anahers or gathering data for a special rare digital Tem. But I wanted to see what you all thought of it. Thank you for your time, QX." What do you think, Gaijin? Do you think we're gonna see some fossil Tems or one item collection type Tems or more one-offs? Could be or could not be one-offs.
I think it would be cool. I don't know that we would see. It definitely wouldn't be in the form of fossil. If anything, I think it'd be like a special digital type tem that you'd have to like collect the data fragments for or something like that. Like there's a floppy disk that's been broken into pieces you have to connect or something. But yeah, I think it would be kind of cool, and I could see it being something that might could possibly be implemented later in the game. Because here's hoping that, they create after Temtem is done, 1.0 is released, they don't just stop and just go into maintenance mode, quality improvement, stuff like that. Hopefully they continue to evolve the world and add more Tems and more things to do. So I think something like that would actually be pretty fun, be pretty cool. The question there, though, is would they be breedable? Probably not.
Here's what I think. I think they would be breedable, and I think they can do one-offs because they've already established they're okay with doing one-off breedables. Because Anahir is already like the quote-unquote fossil-like Temtem Pokemon where that you get one of them.
Yeah, it's a special because they're not catchable.
So I think they've set a precedent that they would have no issue with adding more. Whether they're going to add more or if Anahir is already that Temtem, we'll have to see. But I think that the fact that there's already a special Tem that you get out of a lab and you can't catch is kind of, they already kind of implemented this in their own Temtem way. But I think that it means they could do more, and I hope they do. I definitely could see it happening. I agree that they would put some Temtem twist on it. It wouldn't just be a fossil Temtem. But I could see it happening.
As far as like the mythical Tim goes in game, do you each think we're just going to get that straight through the story, like it given to us, or do you think there might be like a quest to get it?
I don't think it'll be through the story because there's not that much story left, and they have all three. How many islands? Is there only 2 islands?
There's not that much story left. Vonlin says this as he knows nothing about what's to come.
But it's 2 islands, right?
There's 3 islands left. There's 2. There's 2 culture islands, and then they plan on adding an in-game island.
So, I mean, do you think they're gonna have a mythical for every island, or add all 3 into the story at the end? My point is, I bet it could be. I bet it'll be separate of the story. That you won't just get it as you play through the last 3 islands. I don't think they'll cram them in at the end. Yeah, I think there'll be some special thing that you can go do after you beat the story or while you beat it in the future.
Yeah, something like this I feel like works well for the mythical Tim potentially because like if this was a Pokemon game, obviously Pokemon's thing with like the legendaries is that, you only get one but you always get your one. With Temtem being an MMO, I think kind of like housing where it was just like everybody gets it and it's not very hard, but it is big and epic and takes a while would be kind of cool for like a digital Tim, and I could see them like doing something like that for this, which would be cool. Just like, look, we found traces of this Tim that's just supposed to be in myths and legends, and it's just like, go figure out what this thing is. And it's like, hey, look, I got this little thing. What is it, Professor? And it's like, I don't know. Go talk to a scientist. Or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good. But the fact that we still have 3 legendaries and Anahir probably means I feel like there won't be another special weird Tem just because they have enough cool stuff to add there. But who knows? At least not in the base game. Like you said, after 1.0 maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have anything like that planned for right now. But beyond the base game, I think it could be an interesting possibility. Whether or not it's something that would be implemented, it's another story. But I think it in general is a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. It's definitely a cool idea I'd like to see. It's just a matter of guessing if they would do it or not is a big question mark.
But we already have a fossil in game. Their name's Vonlin.
Yep.
I'm kidding.
You guys like how I used floppy disks as the fossil because, old tech?
Yeah.
Like...
I mean, aren't Tim cards basically like floppy disks?
They kind of are floppy disks.
I mean, they're very fancy... super enhanced ones, like they're like the evolution of floppy disks, I guess.
Yeah, I liked there's a
it's a good thing Vonlin didn't mispronounce that word.
there's a NPC in the desert, and I don't remember like who was talking about it or why, but they basically talk about like the evolution of technology, and it's like you used to not be able to bring Tims in the desert. Could you imagine bringing a floating water cloud into the desert? It would dry up and die. But thanks to Tim cards, you can take your Tims anywhere.
Floating water cloud. Is that FOMU and Whipplum?
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that.
There's some really interesting dialogue that I've just found from doing the postal quests, because it's just like, take this to Phil, and I just go and talk to like a dozen NPCs of like, are you Phil? Are you Phil? Are you Phil? And you know, like I read all of their dialogue, and some of them are really quirky.
Do you want me to change your life and make the post office easier? Or do you enjoy doing it that way?
No, we have a Google Doc that has all of them.
Right. I assume. I was going to say, can any of us not know about that if he's going
Kennedy apparently does not know about it.
I don't have the Google Doc. I was using the wiki for a long time.
It makes it easy, but
there's a Google Doc.
And they even
it's amazing.
They made all the maps and they grid it like A through S and 1 through 19, and then they tell you like exactly on the grid where they are. It's really handy. It makes it very easy.
Oh,
you should put it in the show notes, if nothing else, just for listeners that don't know about it.
Yeah, send it to me on Discord, or link it in the Twitch chat, either or, and I'll
Twitch chat it,
and I'll make sure it gets added in.
You mean the Temporium GG bot's not going to ban every link I try to put in there? This is great.
That's correct. Goodbye, Nightbutt.
Fantastic. I just put in the Twitch chat for anyone that's watching live, and yeah, you can put it in. I'll put in like the YouTube comment later if you think of it.
Interesting. Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing this. That said, let's jump in.
Wait a minute. This has nothing to do with that. Where did the technophile name badge come from? I just saw somebody with the if there's founders, alpha hero, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What the heck is technophile?
Interesting. I don't know.
I mean,
never seen that one.
They've been giving out like random nameplates to people.
Was it technophile?
Where the hell's mine, Crema?
Well, I think you got to do something for it.
Where's mine for starting Temtalk? Come on.
Boomer.
Again, Boomer I think you gotta.
I'll take it. Any special title that they give me, I'll take it. It can make fun of me.
All right, let's jump into our final segment for tonight. Since there are going to be a lot of people influxing and finding Tim tomorrow, which again, if you're not listening to this live, tomorrow is Tuesday the 8th. When or right now. Oh, go ahead, Gaijin.
People in the EU.
The wiki doesn't have that title listed. Not that it means it's not a thing, but I wanted to look it up to see if I could find it.
Okay, they're PS5 players. That's what it is. Oh. So if you get the early access in PS5, you get the technophile name badge.
Oh, I want that. Sad day.
There's a title for the first person to reach Z-99999 in a total roll.
Yeah.
Called Boss Goose Tracer.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
Doesn't I think somebody somebody popular in the community has that. Is it?
I was gonna say there's no way someone did go get that one, so that was a thing. But man, that had to take a while.
No, it would be impossible. I mean, that's a super RNG type deal. I think
it was somebody. No, it was somebody did a stream of it. And they
it's numerically, so it couldn't be RNG.
They were competing in Club Wars too, and I can't remember their name. Only one person.
But you're trying to get a house while everybody else is trying to.
You don't have to have the house. It just says to reach it, so you could just run to it.
No, so yeah, what that title was, y'all tweeted out. There's a picture at the end. You know, the housing place is supposed to be infinite, but these thing doesn't scale past like 999. The whatever. It's supposed to be where the end of the thing can generate. And y'all tweeted there is a item at the end of it, jokingly, and a member of the community calculated it, and it was 16 straight hours of running to get there, but they wanted to call y'all on their bluff, and so they streamed 16 hours of running to get there. And at the end of it, as they were approaching, it was like a little tiny that was there. But there were 3 developers waiting there for them when they got there, and they gave the person a title for it.
That's super damn cool.
Yeah. RG Isosceles was talking about it when he was on the show. I forgot who it was who did it, though.
Because there's like I think in my master there's like 2.6 million plots then, but
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. And also shout out to the Quick Maps. Thank you, Patationizer, for the raid.
Also,
welcome to the stream.
they're gonna need more. Eventually, they're gonna need more plots because that 2.6 million is a lot, but it's not that money. If you think of the player base between now and what they're gonna keep gaining, and if they all get a house eventually, they're gonna have to increase that. I would think.
How many of the players do you think like actually go and get houses though?
Well, I wonder.
I would say probably like 20% of the player base.
If you get a house now, what? I wonder what letter they're on and number.
Send a message to Will-O-Wisp. She'll tell you. She just got her house like last week. So
just because like with the percentage of their way through
or actually don't message her. Don't message her. Just go in game and look at her user tag. Yeah, like if you search the user, it'll tell you where her house is, and then you can look at it. That said, let's jump to the final segment. We are going to try and give some quick tips, and then we will be out of here. So if you're just starting out in Temtem, you know there are a lot of similarities to this game and like another popular monster collection game you might have played, like Pokemon, but you find out very quickly that those similarities are kind of like at face value, and Temtem's kind of like a unique game, and it's significantly harder. At that, I feel like there's some things to keep in mind that might help everybody out. So if you guys have any like quick fire things you'd want to shout out to new players that can help them just get their legs underneath them, go ahead and feel free to launch them. I'll start us off and say some Tims you want to look out, or a Tim and some items you want to look out for. Pretty early in the game, you can get a Tim called Genki, and Genki is a wind and electric type Tim, and you can get it pretty early on the first island, which is a wind island, and it's a wind and water island. And electric is super effective, or does double damage to wind Tims and water Tims. So Genki really helps you get through the first island, and then it also learns a move called Noxious Bomb, which is a technique course, which would be like this game's TMs, if you were to think of like Pokemon, which is an item you can click and you can teach a Tim a move. Noxious Bomb is early. I think you find it in the first dojo of the second island.
No, you don't find it in the dojo. You find it before the first dojo.
Okay, yeah.
If you as you're traveling, there's a section of the map you can walk to where there's like some benches and it's hiding up there.
Yeah, and Noxious Bomb is a toxic move. So toxic is super effective against nature, and the first half of the second island is a nature island. So the Genki's ability to just go steamroll through the first island and the second island really, really helps you get to your feet on the ground. And then once you get past, well, Tukma is a toxic island, and wind is super effective against toxic. So Genki's still kind of useful there. But once you get to Kisawa, Kisawa is an earth island, earth and normal. But for your the people you go against in Kisawa, like anything in the story, are from different areas of the world, and surprisingly they use a lot of wind Tims. They use a lot of wind and water Tims starting out that island, so Genki's still super effective for like the first half of Kisawa. So definitely a Tim you want to like find quickly and add to your roster.
Carry through a lot of the game.
Yeah,
Genki's definitely like the MVP of the game for sure.
Nestle shout out too. Grab a Nestle too.
No, I mean, well, okay, so
yeah,
Nestle is pretty good. Make sure that you read the traits that Temtem have. So, for example, when you're catching Tems, in Temtem, it's very cool that they show you, the trait, and they show you the stats that your Temtem has. You don't have to beat the whole game and then unlock an item and then catch every Tem just to see the SVs, or the TVs or whatever. IVs is what they're called in Pokemon. So you can see the SVs right out of the gate. And you can see their traits and stuff, which you can always see anyway. But you can hover over the trait and you can see what it does. I think reading the traits is very important, and also make sure that when you catch some Tems, check their stats. I would say catch a couple and try to find one with mostly green stats if possible. 50 is the highest for SVs. And as you catch and encounter Temtem, this is something a lot of people don't realize. When you catch Temtem, it enters them into your Tempedia, and then as you're using moves in battle, it will show you a red circle or green circle if the move is super effective or ineffective. So if you've caught basically every Tem, this way when you're using moves, you don't have to remember always what type's most effective. The game will help you with that, which is pretty cool. Also, going and catching Tems with good stats is super helpful throughout the game. Making sure you don't have a bunch of red stats, because Temtem is a lot harder than Pokemon. Don't go into the game expecting to just trounce through it, because that's not going to happen. The game does a pretty good job right out of the gate of setting the tone for the rest of the game. And once you start, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's much grindier than Pokemon. Think back to original Pokemon. It's hard like original Pokemon. You couldn't just walk through the game and no problems.
Go back to the Temporium all the time to heal.
Save your money. Go back to the Temporiums. In the beginning of the game, you can go back to your house and heal. So, if you're having a hard time getting through, you don't have to get knocked out, faint, or use bombs and stuff. You can just go back to the house.
Yeah, there's a Temporium not too far along too.
Yeah, and there's a Temporium not too far along, but you do have to go through a few battles, and most people by that point have had to heal or been knocked out or anything anyway. So pay attention to traits, pay attention to the stats when you're catching. Make sure you pay attention to typing. While the game does help you with it, it's super important. And synergies. There's a feature of Temtem called synergies, where certain moves require the second Temtem on the field to have a certain type to enable a second ability, or improve the move basically. So you can, for example, there's a move called Energy Manipulation, which if there's a nature Temtem on the field with your Tem that has Energy Manipulation and you use it, it also overexerts them for 2 turns. Makes them exhausted.
Yeah.
It exhausts them for 2 turns, which makes it a lot easier for them to overexert.
And Hochik has that move. Pixel as a starter.
Yeah, pretty early.
Yeah, Hochik has that move. And also, the biggest thing, practice with stamina. There's no PP in this game. There's no like amount of times you can use a move. Like, you can use a move as many times as you want, but your Temtem has stamina. Using a move is going to use that stamina. And if you use too much stamina, so you can keep using moves until you overexert yourself. But if you use a move that requires more stamina than you have, take the excess stamina out of your health. And then next turn, you will not be able to attack. So mastering the stamina battle system is crucial. So, make sure you're not overexerting.
I want to take issue with something that you said, Gaijin. You said the biggest thing is mastering stamina. No, the biggest thing is nicknaming your Tims. Nickname your Tims early and nickname your Tims as soon as you get them, because it's going to be a hot second till you can change up those nicknames.
I got a bigger, most important thing. Take it for someone who knows. Don't run from a Luma. It hurts. It hurts your soul. It's hard to recover mentally, emotionally. It might affect you physically. Don't run from a Luma.
All right,
don't do it 3 times if you do it 1 time. Don't do it again. And
you don't have any Lumas in your party, right, Kennedy?
I do not. I can smoke bomb to a PC and show off one on stream, though.
Yeah. Show one off on stream just so people can see what the entry looks like for a Luma and the indicator on screen.
If I may, while you pull it up, 1, I want to say my tip, but 2, just real quick from chat, Anzura says, don't rush to the 3rd island when you get the crystal skates. Yeah, you'll lose the skates at a certain point.
Whoa, no spoilers, spoilers. Yeah, but definitely take your time once you get the
That's a spoiler worth mentioning. Just people don't take advantage of having the skates, I feel like.
Yeah.
My tip, it relates to Gaijin's a little bit, but it's in the same sense. But don't be afraid to use Tem cards. Don't ration Tem cards. Buy a lot of Tem cards. In Pokemon, I feel like at least I always ration out Pokeballs and like money, and like the thing is, sometimes they made temp cards super cheap. They're only 15 Pansons. They want you to buy them and they want you to spam catch stuff. So just catch Tems constantly. Like Gaijin said, you can catch it for the Tempedia, you can catch them for better stats, and then you can save those all in your box. And after you get to the second island, you can release them to get your money back, so you don't ever lose money really buying Temp
You can
cards.
release them before the second island too.
Do you still get the Pansons for it?
Yeah. You still get the Pansons.
Yeah, so my boy, buy lots of temp cards, spam catch temp cards. There's no reason not to just catch Tems constantly. Look for better SVs, look for traits. You're gonna make money doing it later. So don't ever think that you shouldn't buy temp cards or you shouldn't capture Tems because you're afraid of spending the money. Tem doesn't work like that. It's set up the other way around. It wants you to catch as many creatures as possible. So go crazy, have fun, catch creatures the whole time you're playing through.
If possible, try to get enough money just to buy 99 temp cards. Always be full, because if you ever run into a Luma, which is Temtem's variant, which is Temtem's version of a shiny, and you run out of cards, that's it. You don't catch it. You can't get it back. It's
only 1,500 Pansons. You get that like for battling a lot of trainers very early in the story. So
so always
10 cards when you're ever at a station and just capture
stack up, because you want to have them, one, just to catch Tems, but also be ready for a Luma. And if you ever encounter a Luma, you can use the stamina system against them. Let them drain their own health versus you draining their health, because if you attack them and then they overexert and kill themselves, that's it. They can kill themselves. So just be careful with that.
Yeah, and if you're wondering what a Luma is, for those who are watching on YouTube, I'll put this up on the screen now. This is a normal Gazuma. Lumas are denoted by a tiny star at the top of their name. So you'll see when you encounter one.
Counter them.
Yeah, the star will pop up.
Before, just always be looking for the star.
Yeah. And then
because if you're not sure what the Luma looks like, look for that star. And also when they enter the battlefield, there's a big shimmer, like, surprise, here I am. It's pretty apparent.
Shimmering too, even. I mean, less than the throne one, but you'll even see sparkles, I think, pretty much all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot more obvious than than you would see in something like Pokemon, but it's still something you could miss. So, just look for the star if you're not sure. And just be super careful not to kill them. When you're using a move, it generally, you have to be careful, because if you're using a super effective, you could kill it. If you're not sure, you can always just let them exhaust themselves and burn their own health.
Yeah. I bet there are plenty of YouTube guides out there too, like how to catch a Luma, that either the Game Piece or Miller's has done, that would probably make it helpful too. But also, I'd say final tip. Everybody, you can get one more quick one, and then let's end this up.
Good.
So final tip from me, I would say just engage with the community. Like, if you found this podcast through either your podcasting app, or you saw it on Reddit, or you saw it on YouTube, please reach out to like one of us and just find out how to jump in a couple Discords or live streams, or even the official Temtem Discord, because the community for Temtem is so nice, and there's knowledge about this game that is helpful for it, and just having people to play talk to is going to just make your experience like that much more meaningful, enjoyable, and pleasant. So my final tip. Gaijin, you got one more?
My final tip is, when you're catching Temtem, different status effects do affect the catch rate for the Temtem. So if you find a Luma by chance, if you freeze it, which usually takes 2 moves that apply the cold status, or if it's a Genki, so there's one Temtem Genki, which one of its traits to be frozen immediately with 1 cold move. So if you can freeze it, if you can cage it, if you can sleep it with hypnosis or something, those all affect the catch rate and make them easier to catch. So make sure the moves you're using don't do a lot of damage or won't kill it, and that'll help you catch regular Tems, but it is super useful when catching Lumas, knowing that you can just make them easier to catch through status effects.
Vonlin, do you have a final tip for the peeps?
I did think of one more. I would just don't rush through the story. I know that especially when if you're listening to us do more endgame stuff and you think it's an MMO and you want to get to the end and do all the fun Luma hunting, money grinding, competitive, all that. It's all very fun, but you're gonna have all of that for all of eternity to do. You're only gonna have that initial playthrough of the story the one time. So don't just rush through it and try to get all the dojos beat as quick as possible. Go explore all the zones and all the nooks and crannies and pick up all the items. There'll be a lot of gear that you'll want to get anyways doing that. So battle all the trainers, talk to them, just take your time because you're going to be able to play through the story the first time once. So don't rush through it to try to like grind other stuff and enjoy the story the first time through, I'd say.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. All right, with that, we are out of here. Let's do some quick closing plugs, and then Vonlin, Gaijin, if you have time to stick around for a post show, might be a couple things we chit chat about. But
yeah, sure.
So for me, I'm Presby Kennedy, spelled PresBkennedy. I am on Twitter if you tweet me, and I live stream on Twitch at the same username, twitch.tv/Presby Kennedy. And I make Temtem content, and I make D&D content. And I've been thinking about making World of Warcraft content, but who knows?
Are you playing the expansion?
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no WoW expansion.
Let's talk about this post show.
Vonlin, go ahead, buddy.
I got nothing for myself to plug. I'm here just hanging out with you guys. So I'll just say follow twitch.tv/temtalkshow and youtube.com/c/temtalk and get all your good Temtalk content.
Hey, shout out.
Daddy Temtalk coming through with the plugs. It's Gaijin Boo. I stream most of them. I've streamed like 2,000 hours worth of Temtem. I'm going to continue to stream Temtem for a very long time. I do stream other games. I stream Sea of Thieves. I'm probably not going to stream any more of Destiny 2. I did that once, but I just prefer to play that off stream. So basically, I'm going to stream Temtem, Sea of Thieves, maybe some Phasmophobia. That's pretty fun once in a while. But mostly it's Temtem. I may actually start streaming some Pokemon as well. I still really enjoy that game series in general. It's what got me to love these styles of games, so I still like it, and I think I might stream some of that too, and maybe try and wolf in sheep's clothing them to invite them into Temtem.
All right.
But you can find me at twitch.tv/itsgaijinbuu, GAIJINBUU. Also Twitter and wherever.
All right. So that's where we're going to be ending up today. Vonlin, you got our turn 30 today. We talked about it at the top of the show. Hit us.
Before we were live, you guys were asking what I've been up to since not doing Temtalk as much. I'm still playing Temtem, but I've gotten really hard back into Animal Crossing and been playing like for a couple hours every single day on my Switch, which it's interesting because Animal Crossing was like all the hype. Like, when did it come out? How many was it? A year ago? 2 years ago? 2 years ago, probably a year and a half ago.
I think a year and a half.
Like everyone played it, and that was like the game at the time. And a lot of people have stopped. Some people are still playing it, but I never really got into it.
The vast majority of people are still playing it. Like that game, they were people that love that game were playing we're waiting for like 10 years for this to come out. So
well, I'm playing it way more now than I did at release. I'm hardcore into it. It's Animal Crossing.
It's still like in the top 10 like top sellers every single week in Japan. Like, it's bonkers.
It's a fun game. And I mean, there's not a ton of new content, but they have kept updating and adding new content and seasonal stuff and activities to do. So it's not like it's just been the same game since release either. So.
Oh yeah, no, they always do a really good job of updating stuff and going along with the seasons and giving you new fun things to do. Who are your favorite villagers?
Oh, yeah. So the favorite villager that I have is I have two of them. One, I like Nate, who is a lazy bear, and it just plays like this really goofy, dorky music every time you talk to him, and he's always talking about eating snacks or sleeping, and I just relate to him so much. I love Nate. Nate is fantastic. The other one I got, which like, so I've looked up I can't just play Animal Crossing like the casual cute game it is. I have to like look at the quote unquote like competitive meta of it, which i.e. is villager rankings and tier lists.
Mm-hmm.
The highest ranked villager I have is Cherry, which is like this pink dog that's like wears this emo shirt and is really happy and cute and fun. So Cherry and Nate are definitely my two favorite villagers. Do you have a favorite villager on your island or two?
So I did have so I sold my Switch and I lost my data, so I had to start over. But one of my favorites was actually one of the new ones they added. Oh God, what the heck's his name? Hold on. I know. So there's a Stitches. Stitches the bear is not the new one, but Stitches is one of my favorite.
It's awesome.
Let's see. Hold on.
Why
Let's see. Animal Crossing.
Like, do
New
you know
Horizons.
the most top-rated popular villager?
Who's top rated?
Oh, it's obviously the Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond. Raymond's like
Raymond. There was a black market for Raymond for a long time.
And real bad.
Like it was crazy. The thirst for Raymond was real crazy.
People that used to watch my stream and know Grim, my main mod, she actually has Raymond. She Raymond just naturally RNG and has Raymond.
Of course. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna try and get Raymond myself. I am a big fan of the classy cat, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to get a cat villager or two since I like cats. I'd like to get an octopus one or two because there's not very many octopus ones.
I like the bunnies. The bunny ones are really
you were talking about your favorite villagers. I don't have Animal Crossing because I let my partner borrow my Switch, and we're in a long distance relationship, so I don't get a chance to play. But she talks to me about it a lot, and there's a bunny named Coco in the game, which is like this weird Gyro or however you say their names, the Gyro or Gordo. Gordo, is that what they are? I don't know. But anyways, she's one of the little wobbly in lore, she's one of the little wobbly things, the little statues, and she's a bunny, and it's really weird because like the gyros are supposed to be like dead people in the lore, and so like I don't know, she's either a cookie or she's like a dead reanimated spirit that I think is like super cute.
The bunny skin, but like, she's the shape of the bunny, but she looks like her entire texture is like a solid gingerbread like texture. Besides like her black eyes and black mouth, it's creepy / cute. I can't tell.
Yeah,
that's super interesting.
That's the one. Like when she told me about it, I was like, that interests me.
Also, of course,
is she dead or is she a cookie?
I'm not surprised at all. This is Willow's favorite.
No, it's not her favorite. That's mine.
Rosie, I know, is a lot of people's favorite as well. Rosie's super cute. Here he is. Oh, Sherb. Sherb is one of my favorites. So Sherb was the other villager that was on my island. I absolutely loved. I actually really like Genji. The bunny characters, I think, are some of my favorites design-wise, just because I really like bunnies in general. But so a lot of the bunnies I like. Sherb was one of my favorites. I don't generally like the goat characters, but Sherb is super cool.
I've never seen a goat villager before. I didn't know they were in there even.
All right, gentlemen, we can keep talking about this in the post show, but I'm gonna end the not the live stream. I'm gonna end the recording right here, and watch live on Monday evenings at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch TV. Twitch.tv/temtalkshow. We record the show live in front of not a studio audience. All right. Have a great evening, everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah.